I think the folks at Fox 4 generally do a great job. But I saw this headline. I'm like, really, guys? Really? Come on. What are you doing? We had this 10 days ago. Literally 10 days ago here on KCMO Talk Radio. It's just... Okay, fine. I'm exaggerating. It was like 5 days ago. It feels like 10 days ago. It's been a long week. Mm-hmm. Either way, we had it days ago here on KCMO when Ty Masterson, the Senate president in Kansas, who also happens to be a gubernatorial candidate, came on this radio station and said that he would bet on the Chiefs and the Royals coming to Kansas, right? He said that here Monday morning. He goes on Fox 4. He says the same thing. They reported last night. Kansas Senate president would bet on Chiefs and Royals moving over the state line. Fine. But guys, I mean, literally, we beat you by 100-plus hours on this one. This isn't news. If you listen to KCMO Talk Radio, this is not news on Fox 4. So I'm thinking there might be a different layer because they've done a really good job on this story. And John Ketz is a great reporter. But I'm like, come on, there was no extra there. It was just basically getting the same quote that we got from Ty Masterson 4 days earlier.
So, I mean, there are a lot of productive conversations going on. I think they're getting to go past conversations into some detail. I do think they are still in conversations on both sides. And here's what I will tell you. I'm not a gambling man, but I would start to put money on Kansas.
For which team?
For both.
Do you feel like the odds are better for one over the other?
I'd probably put stronger odds on the Royals. But, I mean, I'd actually put money down on both.
Okay.
I think they're very productive conversations happening.
Okay. So that was Ty Masterson Monday morning here on KCMO Talk Radio. And then Fox 4 basically runs the same story last night, John.
I was scanning this story here, and so in the headline it has, quotation marks on would bet?
Yes.
Which we heard on our airwaves, and you replayed. Then I scanned the article, and I don't see him saying that he would bet on it in the it says on Thursday, so somebody talked to him on Thursday, maybe Jonathan. I didn't see the quote in there from Thursday, though, oddly enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm scanning the article going, okay, did he say that on Thursday too? Or did he just say he would bet on it here?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know the answer because I don't see that anywhere in the piece either.
That's what I was looking for.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, too. This has implications in this Kansas governor's race next year. This is very good for Ty Masterson. You have a very crowded governor's race, right? I mean, if you were to ask me to list all the people right now in the governor's race, I would try to do it, and I'm sure I would miss somebody. But you've got Jeff Collier, you've got Ty Masterson, you have Scott Schwab, you have Vicky Schmidt, you have Charlotte O'Hara, you have Doug Billings, Joy Eakins. I think I got everybody there. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone obvious. If I am, it's not intentional.
Did you get my name in?
Please don't do it, John, please.
He's a sick guy.
Don't even think about it, man. But, I look at this and I say to myself, all right, how do you separate yourself in a crowded field? Well, this is one way to do it. If you're Ty Masterson and you're on the committee that will be approving a theoretical star bond that the Chiefs and the Royals may draw up to move to Kansas, you can be the guy that brings one or both of these teams to Kansas. That's how you can bill yourself to the public. Now, I don't actually know how that plays with Kansas Republican primary voters. Like, I don't know why a guy in Garden City, a guy in Wichita, a guy in Coldwater, someone out in Meade gives a darn about Ty Masterson bringing the Chiefs or Kansas bringing the Chiefs to Kansas. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading the primary electorate here. I don't think I am, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. That being said, when you have this crowded field and you're trying to figure out how do I differentiate myself from Schwab and Collier and all these different people, Well, this may be a way to do it. To his credit, this may be a way to do it. I mean, he's been on this show this week. He's talked to Fox 4. You're in the biggest media market, obviously, in the state. So that's the advantage. I get it. But when push comes to shove, do I think it's a difference maker? I don't. 913-408-7957. Because there's a lot of us, too, who don't buy into what the Star Bond actually is and don't buy into this idea that there's never a cost to the taxpayer and there's no risk for the taxpayer. Because still what nobody has been able to answer is who backs the bonds? Is there any way the state would back them? And you always get the runaround on that. Mike is in Olathe first up. Hey, Mike, you're on KCMO. What's up?
Yeah, just a little bit of a silly point here. I think you need to make a phone call to John Holt. If there's no hat tip to the Mundo show, at least to you or John, I think there's a problem here. I think that's basically stealing someone else's material. I think you got a case there. But I call and say, hey, Holt, where's the hat tip, brother? Are you not listening? What's going on?
No, John's a good guy. Listen, I like those guys. If it was the Wokesters on 41, I might feel differently. But I know those Fox 4 guys are straight shooters.
I remember Holt when I lived in Wichita. He's been around a while. He is a good dude. But you know what, the folks you mentioned, Western Kansas, I think if anybody can stand out somewhere, the folks in Western Kansas are pretty conservative. If Masterson's doing it, it's not a bad play, to be honest.
What are you saying? You think that – what do you mean by that?
Well, because they've got their ear to the ground. I mean, that's where my wife's from. We've got a lot of family out there. These folks are very conservative. Somebody has to stand out because your point about all these people that are running.
Yeah. No, I agree. Someone's got to stand out. But I'm saying that bringing the Chiefs to Wyandotte County isn't impressive to the conservative out in Dodge City.
No, the Royals is more of an important team because I think they're more of a baseball crowd. They come to Royals games a lot. They don't necessarily go to Chiefs games, but no, I think the Royals would be a difference maker. But just anything to make himself look different because it's going to be a blended mess here coming up next year, right?
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know how these guys are going to differentiate themselves. I mean, they all were there for Brownback. That's going to hurt them all potentially too. They've all been around the block. Like I don't know what the difference between any of these guys is going to be.
Well, at least we won't have someone with such a bad haircut. She really can't distinguish herself from certain things anyway. Anyway. All right. See you later.
Someone put this to me the other day, Mike. They said, politics is Hollywood for ugly people.
Oh, especially if you're a liberal. I mean, you remember Rush? He used to talk about the national organization where he said, it's just basically, it's just ugly women trying to get their name out there. Rush had him. I'm sort of paraphrasing, but it's somewhat true. I'll leave it at that. Have a good weekend.
Well, let's be honest. How many of these dudes, I don't mean in Kansas, I mean anywhere, how many of the dudes on either side are winning beauty pageants anytime soon? Not a lot. Trump's the only one who was think about it, like famous and well-known before any of this in recent memory. All right. Where are we going next? Dennis and Bonner. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, you said you wonder how Masterson will float with the primary voters. I'll tell you how he floats with me. He gets a great big no. If you can push the Star Bond through in a matter of hours, but you can't reduce property taxes in years, you don't deserve my vote.
You got someone you like, or is it too early?
Pete, I'm beginning to think they're all a bunch of schmucks. I started to say another word, and I cut myself off.
Yeah,
Mark wouldn't have to use the button, but they're a bunch of. I have learned even in local county politicians, there are a bunch of double talkers. The state representative up there in Leavenworth's a double talker. I mean, they're all double talkers because they all want to go to the next level, it seems like. Well, do something for us. And here, the Star Bonds in Wyandotte, and I'll get off after this because I know you're getting close to your break. The Star Bonds in Wyandotte. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when that was passed for the racetrack, after that bond was paid off, that was supposed to revert that sales tax to putting property tax relief for the citizens. Brother, I don't live in Wyandotte, but those people are getting killed just like they did in Jackson County, just like they are in Johnson County, just like they are in Leavenworth County, Shawnee County, and these politicians haven't done one beat thing about it.
All right, you got through it all without having to hit the dump button on you, D. Thank you for that, my man.
Thank you.
Well done. Good work. You know, there are a couple of outsiders, just to put a bow on this with the Kansas governor's race and tying it to the Star Bonds and the Chiefs and the Royals. There is a prominent business guy, Philip Sarnecki, who's probably jumping in here at some point. I've had people reach out to me on behalf of that campaign saying, hey, he's going to probably launch. And he's not. I mean, he's well known in certain circles. I would say he's not broadly known by the population in the state of Kansas, but he is well known in certain Johnson County circles for sure. So he's probably going to launch. And, he'll have a well-funded campaign, and he'll be able to at least say, I'm kind of the outside businessman in this race, which in a race this tight and with this many people in it is at least a differentiator. What that launch looks like, I have no idea. I'm not privy to it, but, I do hear that's coming. And then the 800-pound gorilla in the room is still former Royals general manager Dayton Moore. He's still out there. We've talked recently, and it's still under consideration. But here's the thing. You guys know this, if you know anything about Dayton Moore. Like, he's not going to run for governor because he wants to impress himself or impress somebody else. He'll only do it if he thinks he can actually give back to the people of Kansas. It's not like for fame. It's not for attention. He doesn't need any of that, right? He's been there. He's done that. It's going to be if he thinks that he can literally give back to his state in an effective way. And if this is a way to do it, then he'll do it. But, I don't think it's happening soon. A lot of people think, hey, I got to get in by the fall. Primary is next August. The deadline is like next spring. And I'm just telling you, a guy like him, I could see him waiting. And one thing I know for a fact is that the money would be there. Whenever he jumps in, there's not going to be a money problem for Dayton Moore if he decides to run. And that's kind of that lingering candidacy that I think all of these folks running are fearing. But they may not get their answer either way anytime soon. I know a lot of them want no part of Dayton Moore in this race.